to mood on Hadi.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Planet Coaster 2 and Tatooine. As you can see, we have made some progress over the past month, and I thought I'd give you an update and show you around what I've been up to. So, as we see over here, we have the Millennium Falcon hiding away in its docking bay. This noisy ride here is the Atomic Pod Blast. And in the background you can see the Millennium Falcon launching. Let's go and have a look. So to achieve this, it was quite simple, to be honest. Not building the Falcon, but we've just attached it to a Skywatcher tower, which is hiding away deep underground. So as you can see, it takes off, does a little rotation, and it will come back down again in due time. This is just a scenery item. The ride is not intended to be ridden. I did try and attach this to a coaster, but it didn't end well, so we'll forget about that idea. Here we have the Skywalker Speedway. All of this is still a work in progress, guys, so nothing is yet finished and polished. But it's looking pretty good. Want to jump on board one? What camera view can we get? Let's have a look. Interest. Yeah, orbit's pretty cool. As you can see, everything's in test mode at the minute. There's no guests here. Between various carts. Yeah, the land speeders are looking pretty good as go-karts, aren't they? It's pretty noisy. Let's zoom out. Wow, this area is so noisy. So we have a couple of coasters running in the background in test mode. We'll have a look at those shortly as well. But what I wanted to talk about was, I'm quite a keen member of Channel 5 Gaming, and they've just announced a new competition. So they've given us a month to build a summer themed coaster with an 8K limit. It has to be a blueprint. So at first I was thinking, can I incorporate this into Star Wars and into Tatooine? Because Tatooine is sort of summery, being a desert area. But actually I think I'm going to move away from Tatooine, and the Stormtroopers are going to go on vacation. So as you can see, we have one dressed up, ready to go. We're going to jump in the TIE Fighter, fly on off to Scarif. And there we're going to build an 8K blueprint, completely summer themed. We'll have a bit of fun with all the characters. We're going to dress them up, maybe put some in Hawaiian shirts and have them roasting things on the grill. We're going to have beaches, palm trees, dolphins, fish, all swimming around, all having fun. And yeah, we're going to build it in Scarif. And I want to build the Citadel Tower, which is going to be sort of the main attraction, and build a coaster that kind of either launches into or launches out of it, and possibly circles around, surfing through the sort of summery beaches. And yeah, I don't know, we're going to see where we go with this. It's very early days. I've had a thought in my head. I haven't done anything about it, but it's going to take me the next month to build it, I would imagine, even with an 8K limit. Although this has taken me a month to build. Last time I did a video, it was Jabba's Palace, and none of the rest of this was built. I think we had the Houndstooth and a sort of little eatery area down here, but we now have Bosk the ride, which you may remember from an earlier video of mine. Yeah, Yeah, there's going to be a splashdown here as well once I get around to doing all the sequenced events and stuff. But yeah, as I was saying, Bosk, the ride. Let me hit pause a minute because everything's so noisy. So Bosk was the one that gave me the idea of doing a Star Wars theme park, and we done a pirate themed area of our Planet 300 park, and it had Bosk the ride. This was a lot more piratey themed back then, and it was like a space pirate kind of ride for the pirate area. However, that inspired me to build what we now have today, which is the Jedi Temple and all the rides and attractions inside. Obviously Jabba's Palace and the rest of Tatooine is well underway now, with Mos Eisley Station up and running as a monorail station. It is open. It can transport guests, but it chooses not to, probably because I haven't opened anything here. And we have got various different rides, all in different sort of phases of construction. Basically, I like to try and place them, start theming them and build them just to see how they all work together, if I can bend things around and, you know, try and shape the coasters around the rides and stuff, use the environment as much as I can. So this is still very much a work in progress. So yeah, there's Bosk. He's the one that gave me the inspiration to build all this. Our other coaster is Outer Limits, which takes you into a vertical climb and then a drop into a loop and round and round. We will ride these at some point once they're finished. I don't want to ruin them at the moment by riding them too early. I know we had a little ride on the go-karts, or Skywalker Speedway, whatever you want to call it, but I just wanted to show you sort of my progress and update you on my plans for the next month, really. Just give you a little sort of tour and a little show around of some of the theming. Even our toilets are kind of themed. Again, not completely finished, but we even have toilets inside the toilets. That ride is so noisy. So down here we have the staff area. Again, we've just got little theming things going on everywhere. Got an Imperial probe droid. You can see the moving platforms underneath. We have our stormtroopers ready to go on their holidays. All these invisible paths are walkable, so you can walk around everywhere. A lot of these have sort of power facilities inside, accessible for the staff. We have a cantina. Mos Eisley wouldn't be complete without one. It is noisy in here. We've even incorporated the new drats, sleeping drats, because they kind of do look like little aliens, don't they? Got some custom sort of props we've made, like wind turbine kind of things. 87 parts to one of those. You can imagine what this is going to feel like once we've got guests here. This is going to be crazy. I can't wait. Just some random sort of traders at the side of the street. this takes you up to outer limits and the Skywalker Speedway. I mean, this isn't themed at all in here yet. Just a station and a queue at the moment. Not sure what that's doing there. As I say, work in progress, work in progress. A variation on our R2 droid. All of our main attractions will have priority queues. I mean, this is the ride, exit and gift shop, which is still under construction, but pretty much there, to be honest. Just needs a bit more theming for Star Wars. There's a couple of stores. Teacups is still under construction. We're sort of playing around with how we're going to theme it, how we're going to dress the ride up. Yeah, we've got the forge. Yeah, I thought about theming this differently, but I like the wind turbine, so I thought we'd incorporate that at the top. These rides are so loud. I can't even hear myself think. Yeah, so this is Tatooine. This is pretty amazing area already, and it's only going to get better. It still needs a lot of polish. In the background, we've got a couple of little minor projects I'm taking on, like the sand crawler, which is a mutt body at the moment with some bits attached to it. I'm just trying to work out how I can create one that looks quite realistic. Therefore, these guys, the whatever they're called, they're not Ewoks, they're something else. What are they called? I've completely forgotten. You know who I mean, anyway. So, shall we head on over to Scarif and make a start on that? I think we should. Yeah, so my main focus for the next month is going to be building this 8K blueprint, and it's going to be set in Scarif, which, as we know, is basically a massive ocean with a few little islands and a huge tower in the centre of it all. So the problem with a blueprint is you can't really do all the terraforming, so I've got to use rocks, walls for pieces such as swimming pools and things like that to really try and create this. Okay, to get us started on Scarif, I think what we're going to need to do is build some pools, and I'm just noticing it's sunset, isn't it? Sunset of Scarif. I do love the lighting in this game sometimes. Right, so let's create a custom pool. Actually, before we do this, we want it to be a large circular pool for the central area of the Citadel Tower. So I think the best way we can do this is use a rotator. So if we set this, I want it out of the way though so we can't see it, and that's going to mean burying it deep below. And how low can we go? We can't see a thing. Okay, we're somewhere near the... Well, in fact, we're nowhere near the bottom. Look how deep you can go. Oh, we are near the bottom. It's fine. Okay, you're going to wonder what the hell I'm doing at the moment, aren't you? But all will become apparent. So it's deciding which piece to use, isn't it? Right, let's just attach something. Then we can move ourselves back up to the surface. Let's turn the symmetry on. Something has gone wrong with that. Let's try that again. Perhaps we went too far down. Okay, that's better. It's working. Right, we're not attached. Now we are. Interesting. As you go up, it expands out. Anyhow. Okay, what this is doing is creating a large circle for us, which will be our pool. Let's go with that. Just want to see how large this is. It's probably not large enough, actually. Okay, let's see if we can draw a pool, how large this comes out. Just sinking that into the ground slightly. Okay, that looks pretty large. Let's get rid of that tree. Let's sort this lighting out because that's better. What I want to do is actually duplicate individual pieces. Yes. We don't need these trees. Okay, so the pieces we're going to build the citadel out of, let's have a look. Classic corrugated, what are the metal walls like? Let's have a look at those. I don't think they have much detail on them. I'll probably use the aquatic metal walls. We do have these new metal alloy walls. However, they do look a little bit plain for me. I like the aquatic ones, they're more sci-fi. Because they've got that kind of pattern to it. See what I mean? Okay, we might actually build out of these half walls. So we need to build an entrance. We actually need to build as well, like a surround for this pool. Yeah, that's pretty good. However, what scale is it going to be? Okay, that lines up pretty well. Not sure what we're going to do with this piece here yet. That's, of course, we moved them forward. Still not looking quite correct, but we can just adjust that now. Okay, so we've created this circle, but now what I want to do is remove a few sections. So I think that one, there and there, we'll delete those. I'm going to try and create a sort of waterfall effect into here, which means the rest of the pools are going to have to be raised up, unless we lower this one, of course. Swimming pool, closed. How easy is it to move? We need the whole pool selected, then deselect everything else. Hit X, and we're going to drop this by, what do you think, a metre or 2 or 3? I don't know. I think actually the deeper the better. This pool's going to be closed, so the only thing is, will it terrain down with me? No. It will do if we get it somewhere in between, maybe. Let's try halfway. Let's try 5. Oh, that looks even worse. Okay, so we've managed to drop it 4 metres, which auto terrains. Yeah, I like that. So we're going to build pools all the way around the whole of this area, basically. So Scarif will be completely encased in water. This pool will remain closed because it's going to be the central area. It's not going to be accessible. So this we can now get rid of, but we do want to line up this a bit more. So let's duplicate this again. Why can I not select anything? That's better. So that will create the first outer ring. There are more though. The good thing about using this moving platform is it's not counting towards our piece count, unless they've updated that, of course. We may recolour this as well, yeah. Okay, this isn't looking like it's going to line up properly, so we've got to try and turn this into a circle. We're just trying to get this to look as good as possible. I could downscale and try and make it fit better, but I don't think that's too bad, especially when you zoom out. Okay, what we're going to do now is replicate that again. I'm not sure if I can actually delete it. Can I do this? We can. I think somewhere there would be about right. Obviously that's going to be too straight like that. Although, I don't know, what's it going to look like? Let's have a look. A couple of adjustments. I can almost hear the water in the background. Okay, I mean, we're going to have to tweak it a little bit. I'm not going to do that now on camera. We'll do that off camera later. But that is looking pretty good already. Now, I'm going to add some more water around here. We also want to, let's do Control X, bring that out. But then we can't split it. Okay, so we just want one of these pieces again. I'm sure there was a locating browser somewhere. There it is. It'd be nice if it highlighted it. Pretty sure that's the piece there. Any snap to position? We do. That's even better. Okay, this is on edit that. We don't want to edit that. Okay, so we're not quite lined up with our entrance anymore, but that should be easy enough to move. I bet it's not. Okay, so we're already at 259 pieces. I'm not sure if these pull pieces count towards the 8K limit or if it's just literally that, the scenery objects. Right, it's looking pretty good. Where do we go from here? Let's build this pool and see if we can build some islands. We're saving the building for later. So we're going to use the draw tool, and obviously we do not want it to snap. Is the working height still on? We are at 0. Yep. I mean, that's going to put me on top of here though, where I don't want to be. I want to be below it. I kind of need to select there but down. Can I exactly remember where that is? Probably not. Even if I hold my finger on the screen, like I'm doing now. Create custom. Okay, we've got it. Let's hit undo. No, we can't do it that way. So we're just going to have to select, say, that inside point there. I just can go inside it. Okay, that worked. My only issue is this pool might be too large to actually build. Might have to do it in sections. So I think, can we get halfway round? Don't know. And we've got to allow for drawing across. So that's as much as we can do, I think. Okay, I'm not sure how it's going to interact with the other pool. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I'm pleased with that because we're going to dress the side of this with scenery anyway. Probably these metal walls. In fact, let's do that now. See what it looks like. Okay, I guess what I want to do, we want to try and make it like there's water spilling over the edge into the other pool. It's going to be pretty difficult to do this. And to get the angles looking correct. We may redo these other pieces and follow the contours of this pool actually. Okay, so little jump cut, and here we are. We've now completed this outer ring section of pool. I'm going to do that again on here, but link it all in so it is one pool. So we're just going to expand on it. And we have recreated this sort of wall on the inside. And now what I want to do is actually drop the sides down in and create the little waterfalls. So if we select these pieces, Control X, let's move that across. And I think I will drop it behind the wall slightly. Because this, I mean, if I've got this and put some lighting in, or I could just create a blank wall, which I think is what it was in Scariff, but we want this to be lit up as a ride, as an attraction, so we have got to modify it a bit. And here we go, is our lighting. Let's take the snap to position off. I think if we sink it right in, just pop it slightly. These light strips I literally my go-to for decorating sci-fi. I love them. Of course we can change the colours of these if we want to. I'm going to leave it as white at the moment. And I'm going to duplicate that over here. Let's flip it sideways, 45 or 90. Well, I did think about doing the lines the other way and kind of trying to make them flow down. In fact, do you know what? I think we're going to do that. So let's get one of those. And let's try the snap to position, because there are some preset positions here that might help us a little bit. Okay, we will pop it slightly. I do wish I could make this pool a bit deeper, but I can't, so that's that. I guess if I wasn't building this as a blueprint, this would actually be some terraforming work that went into this. But we are building it as a blueprint, so I will share this with everyone. Speaking of sharing, I mean, I haven't really put anything on the workshop for a long time, and I don't think I've got anything on there from Star Wars yet. So that, I should really start to do that. What do you think? Would you like to see some of these on the workshop? Some of my characters and builds? I might start implementing that actually. I might give you a share code every time I do an episode. I think that'd be quite cool. Alright, so now we need a short light to go back across here. I don't know if this is going to be short enough. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be too long, so we'll have to do this either this way . Kind of a waste of pieces, but do I want the lighting on this side as well? I don't think I do actually, because it's meant to just be on the inside. Right, let's just adjust those a bit. Yeah, so using 5 instead of 1, which isn't great, but you know, needs must. Of course, we've got all different heights going on. And depths. We just have to adjust things a little bit just to get it all to work. Funny how we can't actually select them now. That's just a little trick so you can select something and delete whatever it is that's blocking you and then undo it while you've got the item selected. Okay, that's good. Now do the next one. Try and stretch these out a bit. Okay, stretch them too much. I know you probably never noticed this little detail, but I know it's not quite right and it bugs me otherwise. So there we go. We need to fill in this side wall as well. Which we could follow the contour of that wall. So many little details, isn't there, to get right. It's very time consuming. But for me, the little details are important. That's what makes it really stand out. Okay, then I want some waterfalls. These are triggerable as well, so I mean, is it worth me? No, probably not. So I'm thinking, should I attach them to the rotator? But I don't want them here. I don't know about snap into position either. Let's turn that off. Let's hit play so we can see what it's doing as well. So that's the top one. Got the middle one. Just want to sink it just below the wall. I feel like it should be further forwards. Of course, we're trying to optimise our piece count here as well, so I'm being careful with my placement. Right, waterfall top. Right, we need this to feel like it's flowing over though, don't we? So, do we get some water pieces? Set pause again. All the shapes. Let's take this down. Okay. I've got to try and... Maybe we should have aligned it with the surface. Because then we can just use our angle snap. Well, it's not quite how I wanted it. See, we do have the colour as well. We could mess around with that. I mean, it might be worth me putting some more water effects at the top here, just to kind of disguise it. And what do we have? Yeah, I don't know if it looks quite right. I might just leave it as it is at the moment. It's gently falling over the edge. Yeah, I mean that looks fine from a distance. Maybe we need the waterfall effects at the bottom. It's very hard to get these how you want them because I don't like seeing these little pieces, so I'll try and hide them if I can. But then it does kind of diminish the effect. Okay, right, that's looking pretty nice. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and carry on doing this. We'll complete all these little waterfalls and all these buildings all the way around. And I may even do a bit more of this pool area. And yeah, I think we'll leave that for the next one. I think we made some pretty good progress. Let me know what you think, guys. And yeah, we'll see you again soon, I think, for another one. I can see the falcon in the distance. Look at that. Oh, that is so cool. I do love Tatooine. I'm going to miss building it. Although we are nowhere near done, as we know. So yeah, I'll leave that one there. I'll leave you with a nice little screenshot of Tatooine and Mos Eisley. And we're back soon for another one, guys. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you want to see next. I mean, I am going to be concentrating on Scarif, but if you've got any ideas you want me to try and implement, let me know in the comments. And yeah, do subscribe for more, and we'll see you again soon for another one. Bye for now, everyone.